Namaste, and welcome to the Aham Bharatam podcast, the voice of a timeless nation.
And we invite you, just for this moment, to settle in with us, to find that quiet space that always exists just behind the noise of our daily lives.
In this deep dive, we're not starting with an answer. I think that's important to say. We're beginning with a question.
Yes, the question. The one that has, I think, truly defined the human experience. It doesn't matter what era you're from, what culture.
It's always there. We call it the eternal question. You know the one. Why are we here?
Exactly. It's almost like an invisible companion, isn't it? It walks beside you through your entire life.
I like that. An invisible companion. It's there whether you're a farmer in a field or a scientist looking at the stars.
Or a young person just trying to figure things out for the first time. That core inquiry, what is this all for? It's the engine. It drives everything underneath the surface.
And the really profound thing that the ancient wisdom we explore in Aham Bharatam suggests is that life doesn't just hand you a memo with the answer.
No, not at all. It's not in a book, not on a screen. The understanding is that life, well, it whispers. It reveals itself through experiences.
And we've all had those moments, haven't we? Those little glimpses.
We have. They aren't always grand or dramatic. Sometimes it's a moment of just profound, selfless love, where your own sense of self just dissolves for a second.
Or that spark of curiosity, that feeling of, I have to know more about this, that pull towards creating something.
It can be a tear of compassion, when you feel another's pain so deeply that the separation between you and them disappears.
Or maybe it's just silence, that rare moment when the mind goes still, and in that stillness, something dawns on you.
Yes. And the tradition of Aham Bharatam really emphasizes this point, that meaning isn't something out there that you need to find, like a lost key.
It's something to be remembered.
It is something to be remembered. That our life, our striving, our emotions, it isn't just a struggle for survival. No. It is fundamentally, at its core, consciousness seeking to know itself.
The universe becoming aware of itself through us.
In a way, yes. It's the ultimate journey of recognition. And that quest, that journey, that is the very heartbeat of India. It's what this land has preserved.
For millennia. A living laboratory for this inner search. That's what we mean when we say Aham Bharatam. It's not just a place, it's this living, breathing heritage of inquiry.
So if this is the journey, this great self-inquiry, then where do we start? What is the first step?
Well, the ancient texts, they don't waste time with small questions. They go right to the root.
They do. They go to the most foundational question you can possibly ask, the one that sits under every science, every philosophy.
We're talking about the ultimate inquiry from the Mundaka Upanishad. And it's a question so powerful, it connects the ancient sages with, say, a modern physicist today.
The question in Sanskrit is, Kasminu bhagavo vijante sarvam ida vijata havatite.
Which translates to something so simple yet so profound.
It does. It asks, by knowing what, O revered one, does everything else become known?
Just sit with that for a moment. Think about what that implies.
It challenges our whole modern approach to knowledge, doesn't it? We live in an age of information overload. We collect facts.
Right. We learn a little about this, a little about that. How to use a new app, what happened in history, a specific skill for our job. It's all fragmented.
We gather countless branches, but we rarely feel we understand the tree. Or, more importantly, the single root from which the entire tree springs.
And this ancient question suggests that there is a single root, a foundational principle.
Yes, a singular truth. And if you could just grasp that one thing, that one seed of understanding, then everything else, all the complexity of the universe, would naturally make sense.
It wouldn't be about memorizing facts anymore. It would be about recognition, seeing how everything connects back to that one source.
This is what the deep teachings of Aham Bharatam call the seed of every philosophy and scientific discovery, the search for a unitive principle.
It's what scientists are doing, really, looking for a grand unified theory, a single equation to describe everything.
They're asking the same question the rishis asked in the forests of ancient Pura thousands of years ago. What is the one thing, by knowing which, I will know everything?
And the culture that grew here, the culture of Aham Bharatam, it wasn't built on conquering land or accumulating wealth, fundamentally.
It was built on honoring the search, on creating a society that valued this inner inquiry above all else. It understood that real fulfillment, lasting fulfillment, comes from this foundational understanding, not from external gains.
So when these ancient texts answer that ultimate question, by knowing what is everything known, where do they point?
They point to one single absolute principle, the principle of unity. And this is where it gets fascinating, because this is where ancient intuition and modern science seem to shake hands.
You mean quantum physics?
I do. Modern science, especially at the quantum level, is starting to describe the universe as, well, not as a collection of separate things, but as a single vibrating field of energy and an interconnected whole.
A non-local existence where everything affects everything else instantly? It's a very counterintuitive idea for us.
It is, but it acts as this incredible modern echo of a very, very old spiritual intuition, an intuition that culminates in this great declaration from the Chandogya Upanishad.
And that declaration is,
Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma.
all this indeed is Brahman.
Yes, and we should pause on that word, Brahman. It's crucial. This isn't a personal god, not a deity with a form.
It's not a who, it's a what.
It is the what. It is the absolute foundational reality, the singular consciousness that underlies and permeates everything that exists.
So when they said all this is Brahman, they meant everything. The chair you're sitting on, the air you're breathing.
The thought that's just appeared in your mind, the stars in the night sky, and this is the key, the very awareness that is looking out through your eyes right now.
It's all made of the same stuff, the same consciousness.
All of it. And if you truly accept that, even just as a possibility, the implications are, they're transformative.
Because it means we aren't what we feel we are most of the time. We're not these isolated little fragments just drifting in a meaningless void.
Exactly. You are not separate from the whole. You are an integral part of it. A wave in a vast conscious ocean.
And that changes the whole search for meaning.
It completely reframes it. Meaning is no longer about trying to fill some hole inside you with external things, with possessions or achievements or approval.
Because there's no hole to fill.
There is no hole. Meaning is found in participation, in consciously, actively realizing your connection to that eternal whole.
It shifts your whole orientation to life. From what can I get to how can I participate? How can I express this connection?
In that relational worldview, that sense of unity, that is the spirit Mahatma seeks to embody. It's why there's such a deep-seated reverence for nature, for community. When you see the one in the many, your actions have to change. You move from exploitation to respect.
From competition to
communion.
That's the word, communion. But then comes the big question, the practical one. I can understand this idea of unity intellectually, but how do I live it?
Ah, yes. The so what question. I'm a wave in the ocean, great. But I still have bills to pay. I have deadlines. I have, difficult relationships.
How does this cosmic idea help me on a Tuesday afternoon?
This is precisely why the wisdom tradition of Aham Bharatam is so complete. It doesn't leave you with the abstract idea. It gives you a practical guide. It moves from the Upanishads to the Bhagavad Gita.
And to the concept of dharma.
Exactly, dharma. Now, it's often translated simply as duty, but it's a very limited understanding.
It's much more than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's more like your unique truth, your essential nature.
Your authentic path. It's the recognition that everything in the universe has a function that is true to its nature. A star's dharma is to shine. A river's is to flow. You, as an individual, also have a unique blueprint, a certain set of skills, tendencies, a specific role to play in the cosmic order.
And this leads to one of the most powerful and I think one of the most psychologically freeing teachings there is, a kind of anti-imitation manifesto.
It is, the Gita says, Swadharmanidhanam Shreya Paradharmo Bhayavaha.
Which means?
Better to fail in one's own dharma than to succeed in another's.
Just let that sink in. Better to fail at being authentically you than to succeed at being a copy of someone else.
Think about how radical that is in our modern world. We're constantly shown images of what success should look like. The perfect career, the perfect body, the approved lifestyle.
We're pushed to follow paths, not because they feel true to us, but because they match someone else's story of success.
And this wisdom says that path, the path of paradharma, another's dharma, inevitably leads to bhayavaha, to fear, to anxiety, to a deep spiritual emptiness, even if you have all the external markers of success.
Because you're out of alignment. There's a constant low-level friction inside.
The inner music falters, as the texts say. That dissonance is the source of so much suffering. If you are a born artist trying to be a banker or a natural caregiver trying to be a ruthless competitor, it creates a constant internal battle.
So this is where we can use that metaphor. Each life is a unique verse in a grand cosmic poem.
A beautiful metaphor, and if one instrument tries to play another's part, the whole harmony is lost. Meaning, real meaning, only blossoms when your actions flow from who you truly are.
It validates every single person's path. Your job isn't to be someone else. Your deepest responsibility is just to be authentically you.
And if that is true, then the line between sacred and ordinary work just collapses.
How so?
If every action that flows from your true nature, your dharma, is part of the cosmic poem, then doing that action with full awareness is a sacred act. Making your bed with care, preparing food with attention, dealing with a customer with integrity. It's all part of it.
It's not about doing extraordinary things. It's about bringing an extraordinary awareness to your ordinary things.
That is the essence of grounding this grand vision in daily life.
Okay, so we find our authentic path, our dharma. We start acting from that place. But then we hit the next wall.
Which is?
The results. Action creates results. And we are absolutely wired to want good results and to fear bad ones. That's the great tension of life, isn't it? How to act with our whole heart, but not be destroyed by the outcome.
And you've just described the central discipline of karma yoga, the path of selfless action, which is explored so deeply in the Gita. It's the practical instruction for finding peace while still being fully engaged in the world.
This brings us to probably the most famous verse from the Gita.
I think so, yes. Karmanya vadikaraste mafaleshu karachana.
You have a right to action, but not to its fruits.
Yes. Now, this is so often misunderstood. It doesn't mean don't care about what you do. It doesn't mean act carelessly.
It's the opposite, really.
It's the absolute opposite. It means you must pour 100% of your skill, your energy, your integrity into the action itself, into the process. But, and this is the spiritual discipline, you must consciously release your emotional attachment to the outcome.
Because the outcome is not entirely in your control.
It is never entirely in your control. The result of any action is a mixture of your effort, yes, but also the actions of others, the conditions of the world, timing, luck, countless factors.
We cause ourselves so much pain by tying our inner peace to those external factors we can't control.
That is the very definition of bondage. This principle is the definition of freedom. Think about the pressure of modern life. In business, in arts, in sports, we're taught the result is everything. Our identity, our happiness, it all hangs on that outcome.
Which creates this constant grinding anxiety.
But if you can learn to act wholeheartedly, yet freely, you separate the two realms. The inner realm of your effort, your intention, that is your domain. The outer realm of the result is not.
So the work itself becomes the reward, the act of creating, of serving, of building. That's the point.
It becomes an offering, an expression of your dharma, not a transaction where you expect a specific return. When you live for the fruits, you are always calculating, always in fear or in disappointment.
But when the action is the reward, life shifts. It's no longer this heavy burden of outcomes.
It becomes, as the texts say, a dance of consciousness expressing itself through form.
And this gives you resilience, doesn't it? If your project succeeds or fails, if your art is praised or ignored, the value was in the doing.
The value was inherent in the quality of the conscious action you took. You did the work because it was your truth to do it. And that detachment, that is the true key to inner peace, even when the world around you is in chaos.
So with our action grounded in this way, in authenticity, in non-attachment, the path seems to circle back, doesn't it?
It always does. It circles back to the source, back to that relationship between you, the observer, and the universe being observed.
And back to that surprising parallel between this ancient wisdom and modern science.
Yes. That idea in quantum physics, the observer effect, the fact that the act of looking at something changes it. It suggests that consciousness and matter are not two separate things. They are deeply, fundamentally intertwined.
So the universe isn't some giant clockwork machine that was wound up and is just running on its own, independent of us.
That's the old view. The view emerging now, both from science and from the heart of Aham Puratam, is that the universe is more like a living mirror.
A living mirror.
In which awareness beholds itself. The physical world, all the forms, are the means through which the formless consciousness gets to experience and recognize its own infinite nature.
This is a huge leap, and it prepares us for what is really the ultimate declaration of this entire search.
It is the destination, the realization that dissolves that final wall, the one we believe is so solid between ourself and the absolute.
The pinnacle of self-knowledge.
Ham Brahmasmi.
I am the infinite.
I am the infinite. And again, we have to be so careful here. This is not a statement of ego. It is not I, this personality, am God.
It's not about being better than anyone else.
Not at all. It is the deepest possible statement of fact. It's saying that the individual awareness, the sense of I am, the aham, is ultimately non-different from the absolute universal reality, the Brahman.
The drop realizes it was never separate from the ocean.
The light in the single lamp is made of the same light as the sun. When you realize aham brahmasmi not as an idea you read in a book, but as a lived, felt reality.
Then you've answered that first question. By knowing what is everything known?
You have. The answer is by knowing the knower, by knowing the awareness that is looking through your own eyes. The search ends because the seeker realizes they were the treasure they were seeking all along.
And once you have that realization, that bedrock of unity, it must radically change how you see other people, how you understand love.
It has to. It changes everything. Love stops being just a fleeting emotion, something conditional.
It becomes something more fundamental.
It becomes recognition. It's the immediate intuitive awareness that the very same infinite consciousness that you've discovered in yourself is also beating in every other heart.
So when I look at you, I'm not seeing a separate other, I am seeing another expression of that.
Exactly. And this is the principle in another of the great declarations from the Upanishads, Tat-Tvam-Asi.
Thou art that. You are that.
You are also that same infinite reality, and if I truly know that deep in my bones, how can my actions be anything other than compassionate, conflict, judgment? They arise from the illusion of separation.
So every act of kindness isn't me being good to you.
It is the infinite Brahman remembering itself through you. It is the universe healing its own sense of fragmentation, its self-communion.
This leads to such a joyful view of existence. It's not a test or a punishment.
No, it leads to the beautiful concept of Leela, the divine play.
The universe as a game.
A divine play. The one, for the sheer joy of it, expresses itself as the many in order to discover and recognize itself through countless forms and experiences. God discovering God.
And that perspective is so central to the heritage of Aham Bharatam, isn't it? The joyfulness of it.
It is. Suffering from this viewpoint only happens when we forget it's a play. When we cling desperately to our roles, our costumes, our props, our temporary identities, as if they are the ultimate reality.
The goal isn't to win the game.
The goal is to wake up and realize you are the game. And then to play your part, your unique dharma, with as much joy and awareness and authenticity as you can.
This entire journey, from that first nagging question about meaning, all the way to this final, joyful realization of unity, it's all captured so perfectly in one prayer.
It is a guiding prayer for the seeker, a summary of the whole human aspiration from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad.
It's an invocation for transformation, really.
It is. The prayer begins. Asato masadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya matyorma amatangamaya.
A three-part plea. Lead me from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality.
Let's just unpack that. From the unreal to the real. From asat to sat. This is a prayer to see through the illusion, the world of changing forms that we mistake for being solid and permanent.
And to see the unchanging eternal reality, the Brahman that lies behind it all.
Yes, to learn to distinguish the ephemeral from the everlasting.
Then from darkness to light, from Tamaso to Jyotir. And darkness here isn't just physical darkness.
No, it's the darkness of ignorance, the cloud of forgetting who we really are. And the light, the Jyotir, is the light of knowledge, of jnana, that direct, intuitive awakening to our true nature.
And finally, from death to immortality, Matyorma Amatangamaya.
And again, this isn't a prayer for the body to live forever. It's a prayer to realize that the awareness within you, the consciousness, was never born and will never die. Mortality belongs to the form. Immortality belongs to the formless awareness that lights up the form.
And the teachings of Anparatam always stress that this isn't about escaping the world to find this reality.
Not at all. It's about awakening within the world. To live consciously, to see the eternal behind the changing, to find the meaning right here, right now, even in the middle of chaos.
So this vast cosmic philosophy, it comes right back down to earth.
It has to. The meaning isn't found in some grand heroic act. It's found in the simple conscious gestures that bridged the gap of separation, creating a moment of beauty, easing someone's pain, just holding a moment of gratitude for the gift of life itself.
The meaning is in the quality of the journey, not at some far-off destination.
Precisely. And so the journey confirms that final realization. The moment you stop looking for the divine out there,
You find there was never any wall between the seeker and the sought. The awareness you were looking for is the awareness that is looking.
and this gives us the context for creation itself. Why is there a universe at all? Why is there multiplicity and not just a single, silent oneness?
There's an answer for that, too, in the Chandogya Upanishad, a statement of cosmic intention.
The intention is expressed in one powerful line, Ekoham Bahusyam.
I am one, Let me become many.
That's it. The entire cosmic dance in a single phrase. The universe was born from a singular, joyful impulse, the one choosing to play as the many, in order to experience itself in infinite ways.
Which means that every single one of us, you listening right now,
Yeah.
every being is a vital part of that.
You are a thread of that same divine fabric, a unique expression of that one intention. And so your purpose is twofold. First, to remember that unity deep inside. And second, to express it. To weave your thread consciously through compassion, through creativity.
And that really is what we try to explore in this deep dive.
Mm.
This is Aham Bharatam. It's not just a country on a map.
No, it is this timeless consciousness, this unbroken lineage dedicated to exploring and preserving this profound understanding of reality. This is an invitation to remember.
So if we bring all of this together now, this entire journey of reflection, what's the final takeaway? What is the meaning of life, according to this timeless wisdom?
The answer is that it's not an answer. The meaning of life is not a logical puzzle you can solve. It's a song to sing.
I love that. A song to sing. And every part of your life, your breath, your choices, your relationships, your joys, your sorrows.
They're all notes, instruments in the grand music of existence, your unique contribution to that song.
And the strange paradox is that the frantic search for meaning ends when the searching itself stops.
It does. When you just commit to your authentic path, your dharma, when you love without the fear of separation, when you begin to see the divine in everything, the question of meaning just dissolves.
It's replaced by the experience of simply being.
The final truth is a statement of identity. You are not a seeker of life. You are life. You are the purpose. And to know Aham Brahmasmi, I am the infinite, not as a concept, but as your lived, breathing reality. That is a fulfillment of this timeless search.
We invite you to join us as we continue this ongoing exploration of heritage and consciousness. Please follow and subscribe to the Aham Bharatam podcast to receive updates and continue this reflective journey of wisdom with us.
Until next time, namaste and Om Namah Shivaya.